Hey preschoolers, this is Miss Sarah. Today we get to do a science experiment. Make sure you have a parent around to help you out. Before we get started, we're going to need some supplies. First, you're going to need a small bowl. Then you're going to need a bigger bowl with some cold water. I put ice in mine. Next, you're going to need some eggs. And finally, a pot with water in it. Now, pause the video so you can go and get your supplies. Okay, kids, now that you have all of your supplies, let's get started. First, let's think. What's inside of an egg? Have you ever helped your parents in the kitchen cook? Have you ever cracked an egg? Well, let's find out what's inside right now. Take your bowl and your egg, tap it on the side of the bowl until it cracks open. Then you're going to split it open. What do you see? Tell your parents what you see in the egg. Where is the yolk? Can you point to the yolk? The yolk is right here. What about the whites of the egg? Do you know where the whites of the egg are? The whites are the whitish part surrounding the yolk, just like that. What do you think will happen if we leave the egg in the bowl? Do you think it will stay the same or do you think it will change? Tell your parents what you think. Right now, we're going to put the bowl aside and move on to our next part of the experiment. The first thing you need to do is put your eggs into your pot. I chose to put 4 in. Be gentle so they don't crack. Now you're going to fill your pot with water. Make sure the eggs are covered completely with water. Perfect. Now that we have our eggs in our pot, we are going to put it on the stove. Make sure you have your parents' help because the stove can get really hot. Now it's time to turn our stove on. Turn your heat about medium-high. And now we wait until our water comes to a boil. Now that our eggs have come to a boil, put the lid on and set your timer for 8 minutes. When your eggs are done, turn off the heat. And you're going to take the lid off with a towel. Now we need to put our boiled eggs into the bowl of cold water. Before we get to crack them open and see what's inside, let them cool down so they're not too hot. When your eggs are all cooled down, go ahead and take one out and let's crack it open. And there you go. What's different between these two eggs? Do you notice any differences? This egg has stayed the same, but the egg that we put in the boiling water is now hard. It's cooked. What do you think happened to the yolk? In this egg, all we see are the whites. Let's cut it open and see if we can find the yolk. Remember, have your parents help you with the knife. The yolk is inside, and look, it's all cooked. Were you right? Did you predict that the egg would get harder? Now your eggs are ready to eat. Try sharing it with either a brother, a sister, or a parent. Okay, preschoolers, now that we're done with our egg experiment, it's time to get creative. With the extra boiled eggs that you have, find a new way to dye it. I'm going to try and use tissue paper to cover the egg and see if the color will transfer onto the egg. I hope you guys had so much fun, and I hope you have a great week.